So as you can see, I received this letter from one of my clients, and the picture you're looking at right now is when they try to remedy we're using pillars. Okay, so we perform initial assessment. The initial assessment was to jack to hold the flooring in position for the work period, and excavate of the column base and increase maximum depth. Okay, form a vertical and horizontal columns and beams, and then reinforce concrete ratio to column base, columns, and beams. Okay, but we had to cut through the concrete slab as well. Okay, so and then what ended up happening was that, once we started commencement of the work, we noticed the structural integrity of the flooring itself was not strong. It has too many reflections. The concrete was not strong enough. Existing suspended beam developed too many cracks. The thickness of the flooring was very small. The iron rods were not centralized well enough in the concrete flooring. As you can see, there was also ceiling height was too low. Okay, and so I commend this client because they went through multiple ways to remedy the situation, and some people would have decided, so be it, right? But eventually they came to us to just go and assess it and remedy. So that's what we are doing right now. And so one of the things that we decided to do is basically the perimeter of the living room ought to be taken off. That is the concrete element, as you can see us doing right now. So leaving the skeleton of the rods for re-engineering with secret beams using high tensile rods with C30 concrete ratio of 1:2:3 cement, sand, and chipping. Okay. This will also eliminate too much suspended beams crossing the space. Already the height of the flooring is not, high enough, so the hidden beams will help slightly. Okay. So, and this was supposed to be an Airbnb apartment complex, and so, but the owner wanted to make sure that it was structurally sound, and this, and so they went to all the depths to make sure everything was done correctly. And in that process, they came to us, and we saw some issues that we are going to remedy all of them to make sure structurally sound and also functionally sound. So I commend the owner for doing the right thing, because not everybody's like that. I can tell you that. Okay, so we are working on it. It's going to take probably about a month to make sure everything is set. Work is done. It's going to take us a couple of days to just remove all the concrete slab. This is just where the living room is. So not the whole flooring. We're just tackling the living room aspect. Upon further inspection, everything else is good to go. And so when we're done with this work, it will be perfect as it should be. Okay, the issue we have in Ghana is everybody and their brother is a contractor, right? So please, leave the chamber hall for the boys, and then leave the store building and those kind of things for the professionals to do. Okay, so because it's very, very important. This end up costing money and time that it shouldn't have, right? So that is why I'm always about vetting, use the right people, okay? And we are seeing a lot of these come up and stuff like that. So work with the right people. We're one of them. We know what we are doing. We have the certified guys to make sure that the job is being done professionally. So that's the only way we're gonna do it. Other than that, we might just get out of business, And so, but we're gonna fix this thing, and then and then bring it to the standard that it should be. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to discuss, about also the next client as well. So there's 2 videos in here, and the next client also was going to use pretty much the apartment is going to be apartment style for rental as well. And the smartest thing they did was, they started having some issues, not feeling a certain way that things are not done right, so they stopped and they brought us on board to investigate, and voila, we found some things that we are going to help them remedy. Okay, so his goal was to find out, to see whether the house is suitable for 3 level, right? And so that is when we came in to inspect to see whether everything is sound to have 3 level apartment. Okay, so upon inspection we found out that it was not terribly bad, as where we find the condition that it is in, but it's not advisable to go for another flooring because the substructure was not constructed to carry the loads of 2 floors, so as the columns and the beams, right? We also noticed that they were relying largely on the block work as the other elements of support, which is a bad idea, okay? Another thing we found out also too, the footing looks weak with some few defects as well. And also for the iron rods, as we move to the second floor, flooring level, there were some issues, some lapses, which we advised them to correct with few additional rods, especially along the beams and the cantilever areas. And then overall, all the things we also said was, finally the ratio for cement and sand mixture should be high, at least C25 or C30. Concrete strength should also adhere to that specifications. Okay, so yet again, this was also going to be another apartment. They made the right decision by making sure that structurally sound and everything was done right. And so we came in again to make sure everything is done right to specifications. So I commend both clients for not cutting corners. I consider these kind of people human beings, because they want to make sure that this is a place that they can see themselves living in. And so they went to great length to make sure that everything is structurally sound and is also is going to meet expectations as they want it to be. These apartment complexes are in luxury, very, very luxury places, good location. And so I'm glad we're able to step in and help them pretty much bring everything to code and make sure it's sound. Okay, so watch out for who you work with over there. Okay, thank you.